guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. So, guys, it's been an interesting week, bar none. There have been a lot of ups and downs well, in the crowdsourcing space, and I've been asking this question for a while now. A lot of people are putting up videos right now, really, really questioning what is added, what is good value right now, especially in this particular climate, where people are just like scrounging for money right now. There's not as much value in the toy market right now. There's so many problems with pricing and inconsistencies in pricing, particularly on. I hate to really throw this around a lot, but honestly, Hasbro is really, they're all over the place today. In today's market, they're all over the place. You know, you look at something like Mojo. All right, Mojo. They announced a Mojo 4 pack. Actually, it's actually a 4 pack. Believe it or not, kind of strange. But they introduced a Mojo 4 pack not too long ago, and it was something like something crazy. It was like $89 or something like that. It was no, actually it was more expensive than that. I think it was like $110. I'm gonna have to, we'll double check on the actual price. But then they released a single pack Mojo. Um, not no press releases, no news about it at all. Less paint, less detail, and they release it in Target. It just showed up one day, and I think it's only like $45 or something like that. Right? It's just crazy to think, um to think about that. And then, um during Hasbro Pulse, because Mojo just showed up about a week before Hasbro Pulse, which is very, very, very strange. And then during Hasbro Pulse, they announced that Longshot would be a standalone figure, in the retro line, which makes no sense, right? It just makes no freaking sense, because the Mojo pack includes Mojo, it includes Longshot, includes a brand new Dazzler with a new head sculpt, and includes a baby version of Wolverine from the Mojo World kind of continuity. And that actually was priced much higher than what you could get for a retro carded Dazzler, Mojo, who just appeared out of nowhere as a single pack, a long shot, which arguably is the only three figures you really want. I mean, who really wants a super deformed Wolverine? Like, let's just put it out there. Who really wants a super deformed Wolverine? It's not something that I think everyone was clamoring for. It's not something that everyone was asking for. So right now, it really seems as if Hasbro shot themselves in the foot with that particular decision. But then we look at the other side of the spectrum, where both Hasbro and Mattel are now doing crowdsource projects. And Hasbro's been doing it for the better part of 3 years now. Actually, longer than that, I think. Probably got getting closer to 5 years for Haslab. And right now, the court of public opinion is really kind of keeping a very close eye on what Hasbro is doing, because at this stage they are the poster child right now for what a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon for, as being overpricing, overreaching, and corporate greed. It seems to be this huge like movement, basically trying to just point out the missteps of massive companies like Hasbro. And then running parallel to that, you have Master Universe with Mattel. And they have their own crowdsource project, one of only two that they've ever actually done with adult collectibles. And that one, a lot of people who were on that same, I guess those same individuals who were trying to really draw attention to the idea that corporate greed is massive, corporate greed is big, and every corporation out there is guilty of it. As soon as Eternia was announced, there was speculation across the board that, well, people were wondering, all right, is this going to be $800? Is it going to be $1,000? That was the early guesstimations by many of us in the community, because just knowing how much Snake Mountain cost, how much vehicles that have been priced during Haslabs, right? Because the six the what's it called the his tank, right? The 6-inch his tank, the Sky Striker, right? All these other projects that have been on, and a lot of people were on bated breath to find out exactly what would happen with Eternia. As it turns out, Eternia was actually a lot lower. Well, not a lot lower. It was around the price where we were hoping it was going to be. I was hoping it was going to be sub 500, but it wasn't. It was 550. But honestly, it was not nearly as expensive as we thought it was going to end up being. And because of that, um, uh, it seemed like at first people were okay. Wow, that's different. But those same people who were very concerned with the Engine of Vengeance, Rob Gray's situation with Ghost Rider, they did the same thing. A lot of people were very critical as to what Mattel was doing with Eternia, saying this is corporate greed. This is another example of corporate greed. We cannot let them get away with this. And there was a call to action to to not let this happen. To vote with your dollars and decide that. And in some cases, people were saying, "Don't be stupid." Don't buy this because it's going to make things worse. And that, I think, is the underlying issue here. There's a question. There's a question about value, right? What is it that we as fans, what do we value? What is it that we feel is added value, or what is it we feel is good money, is good value for our dollars? And because of this question, right? Because that is, at the end of the day, the biggest concern for people, especially in this climate that we live in right now, that we're currently finding ourselves in. That, I think, has been the biggest reason why a lot of these groups are saying, don't support this, don't do this. It's like it's gonna ruin the industry, right? We are digging our own grave by supporting something like this, right? Don't do it. You need to hold off. You need to vote with your dollars and tell Hasbro and Mattel that this is not right. But if you look at the bigger picture, right? And I've said this in a couple of my videos, because a lot of people are saying, the more you do these things, the worse it's going to get. They're already raising prices because what's it called? Hasbro's already raised their prices 3 times. In Canada, it's been 4. All right, so they've already raised their prices multiple times, and there's no signs of stopping. But that's the point. Right? In a time right now where prices are already skyrocketing, right, and starting to climb ever higher, saying that supporting a crowdsourced project now will make things difficult. We'll never see another playset, a playset like Snake Mountain or Castle Grayskull ever again, because it's impossible. No, that's not true. We've already seen that Snake Mountain has already been announced. Right, so we know Snake Mountain's coming, and we know it's going to be, in and around $100 because of Castle Grayskull. They're not gonna do something stupid like that. And action figures right now, they have already been rising along with the cost of inflation. Right, it's that fear, right, that the people have, that our own actions, reflect heavily on what the companies will do. But there's the difference. We as consumers do have the power, and I've been saying this for quite some time. We have the power to actually tell Mattel what we want, because there is a ceiling which people will reach, and it's happening already. There are figures which are just hanging on the pegs, and nobody's picking them up because we have, in some cases, we already have hit our ceiling, and because of that, it's telling a clear-cut message to Mattel and to Hasbro that we gotta start to reevaluate what's going on here, and they are talking about that right now in investment meetings and such. I'm going to bring in a friend who, who helps. We talked about this on multiple streams. It seems like the two of us are doing streams all the time. I know it seems like that, but heck, this is something we love to do, to share with you guys, our thoughts. So yeah, let me bring in Collecting Classics. What's going on here? Yeah, there we go. Hey, Ray, what's going on?
Hey everybody, how you doing? Collecting Classics here.
How's it going, brother? So Ray, we were on Oz's stream just the other day, And this is a continual question that continues to come up time and time again. Um, but right now, it's I think this all, I think and I know you don't really like talking about it this way, but I really think this started with Robbie Reyes. I think Robbie Reyes really kicked this off because of the perception of value, right? I think a lot of people were divided in terms of like what happened. Why is this? Why is this thing so stupidly expensive, right? And is it just plain corporate greed on that part? And then what happened was because of what happened with Robbie Reyes, Eternia, which launched a few weeks later, right? People literally equated that to being the exact same thing. That corporate greed is the reason why this is happening. But we're looking at the two different projects, and we're seeing vastly contrasting differences in what's happening. What are your thoughts? What's your take on
With Eternia coming out, and being a stark contrast against Haslab Engine of Vengeance, it's nothing that hasn't been seen before in the collector world. These are two of the biggest situations that we're dealing with right now, and the two biggest that we can compare. But it happens all across the board with every toy company, especially companies like Funko. That is one of those markets that seems to always be exclusive or bust. If you don't get the exclusive at location on site, you're left to the secondhand market, which just destroys. But with corporate, it's a little different because we know that Mattel didn't do this to gouge the consumer. The initial price, which we projected to be about $450, $500, maybe a little bit more with taxes and shipping, which we were spot on. You really begin to break down the product and look at it from afar, and you can tell like this is a product that's priced at point for them to make money, for the consumer to get in on a product now at the ground floor of it. Do I believe we're going to have Eternia again? Probably not for a while. Just to put it out there, it's not going to be a $1 situation where it's like, well, hey, everybody that missed it, here's your second chance. And if they do, that's great. But if the market doesn't answer the call, there's no reason for them to relaunch the project. Same with Haslab. If nobody answers this Engines of Vengeance call, why would they bring it back? Due to overwhelming popularity? I don't think so.
And yeah, that seems to be an ongoing issue right now. But specifically for Rob Reyes, what is your take on that? Like, let's start there. What do you think of with this particular project? I mean, sorry, I forgot.
And like I said, it's not a bad product. Okay, again, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm disappointed in the Haslab project, what I'm disappointed in, and what we're talking about is the expectation that the consumer is going to answer every call. And we've seen with Haslab, that's just not the case. In regards to the Robbie Reyes, I think it's a lazy attempt at filling a void, filling a gap that isn't really wanting to be answered in that type of price point. Now, again, $350 for the car and a goofy looking Ghost Rider that isn't what consumers are really looking for. Hasbro has to go back to the drawing board immediately, take notes, and offer something that's going to resonate with that consumer base, because this is not the Ghost Rider we want. This is not the car we identify with. This is not the incentives that we're looking for when thinking about Robbie Reyes. Mephisto would have been great. Now, if they had released the project on the opposite end, folded over, and the first stretch goal would have been Mephisto, you would have had a lot better luck. But offering a Robbie Reyes, then taking it away, and then saying, well, hey, we'll just give you the headpiece. I'm seeing a fluctuating value here that goes outside of the initial $350, and it goes to the value of what I feel it's worth as a consumer. And I just don't think that it's there. especially when they're so flippy floppy. Well, we're not going to do this. They take it away, and then they have to. They have to offer a part of that, and which they did was the head sculpt. I just think it's weak. They're not listening. I think it's an overzealous move, especially coming off the heels of this. And it just makes you wonder what the future holds in projects and how much the consumer will answer that call if they keep falling short upon demand like this.
So you said a lot. Like there's a lot to unpack there, and let's start with a few with a few things. Okay, let's start a bit with a bit of history. So originally when it's launched, I think it had a huge spike, right? Like there was a lot of interest initially, and people were quick to jump on it, which happens all the time.
Yep.
But they tried to follow the model of a his tank, right? Where in the his tank, it was one of the first times they actually offered a bonus tier. And it's interesting that I've been watching a few YouTubers and a few commenters, and they saying, "Oh, everyone's now following the Haslab method," and I find that funny, considering that if you were to look at this, the bonus tier, if you will, only really happened in many regards with the his tank. I think the his tank was the first time. I don't know. Do you remember any other Haslabs that had a bonus tier? I don't know if I don't remember any.
Not offhand that I could think of. I don't really follow the Haslabs as much as I'm a Mattel consumer.
I'm nearly certain that none of the other Haslabs actually had a bonus tier, and I find it funny that people are already pointing at it as the Haslab way, right? The Haslab method, because it's something which the latest two attempts have had them. And now because Mattel Creations also followed up with a bonus tier, in its own way of doing it, it sort of has now become, oh, that's now the standard. It's interesting how that happens. So they had an initial boost of interest right at the beginning, and that bonus tier, in a lot of ways, I think really did help to propel them to where they got to.
Right.
And as I don't know if you, I'm pretty sure you remember, Oz and I did a whole what's it called, countdown to Robbie Reyes, and we didn't get there. Robbie was not unlocked, right? So because of that, as soon as Robbie was not unlocked, interest literally at that point started taking a nosedive, like massively. It took a massive nosedive,
and we're seeing that same environment now with Eternia, because once something goes missing off of a project like that, interest begins to dwindle. And when you put that in contrast against like King Grayskull, for the first week buyers, that was a great incentive. Now that incentive is gone. Even though we've reached Modi, can we push to Keklar? They have to have something in order to gain that propulsion to move towards that goal, because right now we're seeing the same kind of halt in progress with that campaign.
But we're not going backwards.
No, we're not going backwards, right. and we back. So
those are two very different things, though. Like on that level, what you're saying is not untrue. What you're saying is not untrue, and we're going to get to that. But I will say that obviously the bonus tier had put something here, but I think, follow me here. I think Modi made himself popular. I think Modi actually got himself to that tier and I actually think one of the reasons why we're slowed down now is because people got Modi, and they're like, all right, we got two characters, and now Modi's one of them. And because Modi's such a rock star right now, I think that actually was a lot of people's concern, is like, all right, cool, now I'm guaranteed a Modi, right? Yeah. And that's just fans being fans, right? But with the Haslab project, it seemed as if, and here's the big problem that I see, it seemed as if the tiers were the ones that were going to get this thing over the hump, right? And it's weird that way, because let's look at history here, okay? Once Robbie Reyes did not get unlocked, he started, like, the trajectory went downwards. It went on the opposite direction. It was going up and then went down. That is not a good move for any project, right? But if we look at history, right? If we take a look at other Haslabs which have one thing in common, which is really not a good idea. One thing that I think was very evident early on is that the the Haslab Engine of Vengeance was actually depending, and I hate to say it this way, and I'm going to ask your take on this, Ray, was dependent on its stretch goals. What are your thoughts about that? Because in my opinion, that's not a good thing to rely on.
No, it's not. And again, you want the project to be backed for the main course, right? The car and the Ghost Rider. Unfortunately, those were not as appealing as if they released a bike or a horse or a Ghost Rider that we are used to seeing and wanting on the market. Now, as far as their tiers go, if they were looking for tier gains, right? They should have offered Mephisto right away to the first tier and then kept that going, because there is clearly a disconnect with Haslab and the consumer base when offering Robbie Reyes and saying, "Hey, no, we're not going to take this away. This is how it's going to be." And guess what? What did they do? They took him away. And then what did they do? They gave us a head sculpt and thought that was going to make up for those tiers, the tier loss, right? Matt, the Goblin Queen that came out. All I'm seeing is tears. It's crazy. It's not relatable to what is going on with this Ghost Rider project. The two have like you said, because she's a demon, right? Is that the theme that we're going for? Are they themed tiers? Because they're not consumer interest tiers, because clearly nobody's biting. And if they did it Mephisto's way first, I think this project would have done a lot better. But since he's so far away, so early on, I really don't see anything that's going to bring them to Mephisto.
Yeah, but see, there's the interesting thing about that, and this is very interesting the way you said that. The reality is he was first, right? After the bonus tier, he was supposed to be the first unlock, right? And I think that they were banking on his inclusion to really push this forward.
Yeah, but that number they set though in the beginning, then they pushed him back.
No, but that's not.
Then they had to fill up that big void and say, "Hey, we're just simply not going to make this.
No, I get that.
We need to plug this up and fill these holes till we get there."
No, but here's the problem with that, right? Just like with other Haslab projects, which have made it, right? The initial product doesn't seem to have really captured people's imaginations,
right?
And really, that's what's supposed to be, your excitement.
The main course. Yeah, the main course.
People were excited about the Hiss tank, and the Hiss tank is what got funded, right?
Right.
The bonuses were great. Make no mistake, the bonuses were great, right? But the Hiss tank itself is what really got people excited.
But not only that, the bonuses were related to the main course.
Yes, true.
They were accented to the main course, which is, that's nice. You can't.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can't have, the main course and then have an accent piece of, strawberry yogurt. What it doesn't work. It didn't. It's just not working. I've called it since the first time I saw it. Not only did I see the product, the main course, then we saw the price tag and he said, "Oh, wow. Huh. Am I willing to pay that much for the main course? Huh. Well, probably not." So now it's dependent on what sides are going to come with it. And those were the tiers. And it's not a good meal, man. I'm not liking it at all.
Not. And it's been made worse by the idea that they backpedal.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been and this will be a case study. All right. This will be a case study going forward. Let's go back in a little bit of history. So if we look at other projects which had similar trajectories, right?
Say like Galactus, because everybody's like getting their Galactus.
No,
today,
Galactus
right?
is a bad idea, and I'll tell you why Galactus is a bad idea. Galactus is exactly what you said. The project itself was amazing.
Yeah.
The project itself was amazing. People wanted Galactus, and then the tiers just were added bonuses. Right?
Oh man, and they were outrageous. They were great.
They were incredible. They were absolutely incredible. Right?
Right.
But if we take a look at something which is a little bit more on the same trajectory as Rob Reyes. So everyone and their mother wanted O-rings to return. Okay, like traditional Joe collectors wanted O-rings. Okay, and it should have been a slam dunk for the Sky Striker, right? But there was a perceived value, a perception of value there that people were like, "Holy crap, 229.99 for a Sky Striker!" Right?
Right.
When people are a lot of people, a lot of retro collectors are always hung up on this idea. They keep saying the same thing. I always hear the same notion all the time being thrown around. I bought that when it was. I bought that when my mom. Sorry, my mom bought that for me for $30. You know
Sure.
what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of attitude I've always heard over and over again. I remember when that was $30.
Yeah. But
That was
you're also talking 20, 30 years ago.
40, dude. You wish 40
You,
years ago, bro.
right. No,
40
exactly.
years ago.
But then people discount the current economic situation that we're all in and how that fluctuates. Price of food goes up, price of
Yeah,
gas goes up, price
everything.
of everything goes up. So when you see
Manufacturing goes up.
prices like this
Yeah.
at 229 for a project, looking at it today, I'm okay with that price. Seeing
Well,
what is out there in the market, how much.
Hold on. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. You're okay with that price. I'm actually here's where I'll lend credence to their argument. I am not okay with this price if it was at retail. Okay, if
Right.
this was at retail, I would rather have a 100 to 100 to 150.
Yes.
I think that
Sure.
that sweet spot there.
Perfect.
That's where I'm comfortable with this price.
Right.
Right. This price though, right? As a as a crowdsourced project, I was okay with it. I was like, wow, that's a bit higher than I was hoping to pay,
Sure.
right? But I can swing that. And unfortunately, with that, that's where it really did depend on the tiers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's where I
Right.
was
And
like,
and
okay, you know what? Now I got to see
and
the
that's the
bonuses.
difference. That's also the difference between retail and crowdfunding is that at retail, I know I'm only going to get this box. I'm only going to get what I pay for here. Right. And so the price is lower because manufacturer's price and having to sell X amount of units to make that goal reality for retail. Whereas crowdfunding, I know this price might be a little high, but I'm also have the potential to get more of those goodies. Now, this works both ways. If a company is falling backwards or behind on a project, they can add those incentives to push and propel through those goals. If a project does great, you also have on the flip side companies saying, hey, thanks for backing this project. Here's an added bonus because we made these numbers. You know, there's a benefit to that, and it's a weird juxtaposition there, but it's a fluctuation environment that I'd rather be in, working exclusively with these companies than having to go to retail, paying a little bit lesser and not having those extra bonuses that are just so sweet for projects like this, or like Galactus, or like the Histake, or like Eternia with Modi. You know, you just can't get those bonuses at a retail price. So it goes a little bit both ways, but the benefit I find is definitely crowdfunding because the companies have the ability to move and pivot, like you said, a little bit differently to find a way to reach the finish line.
But see, there's the thing, right? And this is actually, you bring up a ton of points again. But it's all about it's all about putting the pieces together, right? That's very important. Yeah. The base offering of the Sky Striker is something in a crowdsourced situation. We would never get all this stuff in a retail situation. We would not be getting a flight stand. We would not be getting a refueling station. We would not be getting a missile loading bay. We would not get all of these freaking missiles. There's no freaking way. Okay, we would not be getting all these blast effects. We would get one figure. We wouldn't get two. Right. This is something where for something of this price, for a base offering, they had to throw everything at us, right? Like really cool base level tiers, right? Base level offerings, right? And then with this project in particular, because you could tell they knew they had something, but they still were not 100% confident. So what did they do? Unlike any other Haslab before it, they literally showed us everything. They did not hold back. They said right off the bat, you know how other Haslabs, you basically every time you hit a tier, you unlock that tier. Every time they showcase you what's going to happen with that tier. In this case, they didn't even bother doing that. They said, hey, here's a Sky Striker. This is what you're going to get if you reach this. You're going to get Scarlet at 13,000. You're going to get what's it called, ripcord at 16,000, and you're going to get ketchup and mustard at 18,000, right? They literally laid the whole groundwork for us right off the bat, right? And people were like, okay, that's never been done before. No one's ever done that. I think there was an expectation there that people needed to find out what else was on here, because
Sure.
O-rings had not been talked about for nearly a decade, right? People hadn't seen an O-ring, even though the anniversary editions were a number of years ago. I think people were just expecting that O-rings, right, needed a bit more of a push, right? But here's the thing that happened. They made a huge mistake in this regard, because not only did they have the Sky Striker as a project, they decided in their wisdom, for whatever reason that year, right, that in that month, whatever freaking reason, they decided to launch not only the Sky Striker, but parallel to that, the Ghostbuster Proton Pack, which when we found out what the price was, just blew people's minds, right? And absolutely went from 0 to 100 in like no time, pretty much funding in like record time. But they also went ahead and launched a third crowdsourced project with the Rancor. Right. Absolutely, literally telling people.
And you saw the opposite with that one. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. But here's the thing: how many fans out there are fans of multiple genres? Right? Sure. I'm a Ghostbuster fan. I'm a freaking Star Wars fan, and I am a G.I. Joe fan. So basically, you asked me as a consumer to pick between one of my 3 children. You know what I mean? Or sacrifice a little bit more. Eat a couple of sandwiches, eat a few more sandwiches for the rest of the year, and then go for 2 of my children. Right? Literally throwing the other one off a cliff. You know what I mean? Like, that is ridiculous.
It is, but there's got to be strategy to it, right? Because you look at
because look what happened. Right?
Look at Stryker, right? Because then now they have this table spread out of all these goods. And then they allow the consumer to make the decision, because like you said, Jay, it's putting your back against the wall and making this consumer pick. Now, if that is the case, right, then they're able to now have a plan laid out that says, hey, the community gravitated towards this stuff. Let's do more of this. Maybe they didn't answer this call. Let's not do that.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but that's not what happened. What happened was 2 projects almost died.
Yeah.
2 projects nearly died, okay? Because the Ghostbuster project, because of its price, the added value that it
but one did. But one did,
Look. It like the Haslab project, because of its pricing structure, people literally lost their minds. Something which a lot of us were estimating was going to be $800 to $1,000 for this Haslab project.
Right.
They priced at an incredible $399. People literally lost their minds. If anybody who's in the Ghostbusters community knows how much it is to actually customize one of these things, this is a virtual steal. Sure. This made no sense to anybody at the time. They're like, why wouldn't you back this thing? This is ridiculous. And then the other tiers that just came along with it, the hose to connect to your Hasbro what's it called? The Neutrona wand, the slime pack, right? The slime pack was another early
so
bird,
perfect. Tier, right? So here's another example. On a project where the Stryker, they showed you their strategy, they showed you their tier base. Did they do the same for this, or did it just have that reaction right out the gate?
No, it was the same problem. The Sky Striker is the only project in Haslab's history where they showed you everything first. Right.
And now here's the thing that is it's a different strategy in the same realm. And we saw this, and there's the mythos of this unlockable tier with Eternia, same kind of thing. They're not going to show you everything that you could potentially get, because maybe the fan base gets bored with that way too early and it doesn't work.
We don't know if that's true or not.
But then here's the thing. They could show you something else that allows you to push through Keklar.
What you're describing is what happened with
I think that's an option, though. And there are multiple strategies to all this. There's not one formula that says it's right, because all these IPs are different, all the projects are different, and they all have their own validity and consumer base and what people call as value.
I understand that, but that's the problem. That's the problem.
It's subjective. You know, you
But
really
that's the problem
can't
we're
dial
facing.
in a formula with it because
Yeah, but Ray, that's the problem we're facing, right? What you're describing is what happened with the WWE ring, right? They had extra stuff in the bag because you know what, the project was failing, right?
sure.
Because they only offered Diesel, they only offered Doink in two different variations. Why would I need two different Doinks? That doesn't make any sense, right?
There was Doink and Dink. Remember that?
Well,
Back
that's
in
the
day?
thing, right? And then they had the side skirts, they had things, but it was like this is stuff that I is okay. But for me, for my value for money, that didn't really push it over the edge. And
So
then
is it? It would have been
when it
better.
flatlined, when the project flatlined, all of a sudden they're like, oh crap, we need to do something fast. So then they
So
said, okay, we're going to throw on chairs, we're going to throw in monitors, we're going to throw in
right,
microphones, and we're going to throw in the one thing that everybody wants, which is Macho Man in this glittery freaking
sure.
suit with a cowboy hat. And
But
what
if the
happened? It
consumer,
went
but if the
freaking
consumer,
nuts.
but if the consumer knew that prior to the flatline, do you think it would have still had that interest? I think certain projects need to
I
plateau before a company wants to add something. If they had shown it and allowed it to be common knowledge, do you think you would have still stalled out? Do you
yes,
think you would have still
yes,
had that stall?
yes. No, I don't because I'm
Right.
pretty sure that they would have. And the point being is that and this is what a lot of people are arguing for, that you should hold out, right? That you should wait, you should make them pay, right? That's what they're saying. But the
Make the
reality is,
companies nervous.
no, there's a problem though, right? Right now, if that was the logic that we used with Eternia, right? Then the reality is, if you wait if you waited for Grayskull, right? And you said, okay, fine, it's a bonus, you would have missed out,
Yeah.
right? So where's the logic in that, right?
Right. And
Where's
that
where's the,
logic doesn't work with the
yeah,
Haslab either,
where's the
you know?
logic in that, right?
Yeah,
But that's the
exactly.
reason why Mattel incorporated the idea that if you don't back this now, it's not like a Haslab project where everybody gets it. No, you have one
Yeah.
week to back this. And because of that sense of urgency came in, and people literally went there in droves on the last 2 days. All right. But then something unexpected happened. Modi became a freaking superstar, and everyone was like, shit, we got to get Modi now. Like,
And
we
I don't
can't
think
lose.
Mattel was ready for that
No,
either. I
no
don't
one
think
was ready for that.
no,
No
they
one
didn't
was ready
know.
for the Modi movement. No
Yeah.
one was ready for the Modi freaking movement. Everybody gravitated towards Modi, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, we got to get on this, because if Modi gets back, we get two figures, right?
Right. And that
That's
push in that first week, but the last day, specifically the 7th day, that last push, again, it goes back to what you said. It's making them wait. It's making them wait. Not that they had anything to give us extra because they were flatlining, but it's making the companies wait and say, hey, is this going to happen? Well, I don't know. We're waiting for that surge to kick in, that last minute surge, that FOMO to kick in. And that's exactly what we saw.
Well, not. I mean, but I know what you're saying in terms of the phone, but that's that in terms of calculation and site and
we made 1,000, 2,000. What was Modi? 3,000?
No,
3,000?
It was 3,000. Yeah,
it was a 3,000 stretch in a day.
No, but that's my point. Modi made that happen himself, because if we look at, just because it happened within the time frame of Grayskull, right? The reality is, if people were only interested in Grayskull, it would have only hit the 5,000.
Sure.
Modi made that happen in fucking self. Like, they basically
but Grayskull incentive for that last 24 hours also was the push.
No,
too.
of course, that's exactly what I'm putting. That's exactly where I'm putting that, right? But the reality is, right, in terms of value, right? Eternia by itself is the value,
right?
Because if you try to buy a
That's
freaking
the main
Eternia now,
course.
it's $3 freaking grand.
Dude, I could custom make a Grayskull. I could custom make all these other incentives. The thing, I didn't spend that money for Modi. I spent that money for an Eternia, for a big box item.
That's really where it boils down to, right?
Yeah.
And this is where we have to re-examine this. People have been asking for a full size, like a lot of people, even casual fans, would love to have a full size Proton pack, and the value is there. $3.99,
Yes.
considering how much it would actually cost for a real Proton pack,
but that makes sense. That makes sense in the future to re-release a project like this, because There isn't a lot of Ghostbuster stuff on the market. There isn't a lot of proton packs made like this on the market. Yeah. They could take a page from their own book and rewrite the damn thing and relaunch it, and it would do just as well. It would do just as well.
You're right for that as well.
I can't say that. I can't say that with Robbie Reyes. I can't say that with Engine of Vengeance. I can't say that with a few projects.
No, I hear you. I hear you. But the likelihood of this coming back is not very high. And the reason it's not very high is because there are other players. Sorry?
But here's the thing, though. It could. No,
not really. I'll tell you why. There are other players in the market who are already building proton packs licensed, like Spirit Halloween, and the price point is much lower. It's much easier,
and they'll do great. But
that's the thing. Not everyone is like even this is an incredibly priced. I don't know why the pictures aren't coming up. This is so weird. But anyway, even though this is an incredible project and it smashed records, right? The reality is not everyone is going to spend $399 on a replica.
Sure.
Right. Whereas if you go to Spirit Halloween, you get the deluxe version for $150. You're happy. You know.
Yeah, value, and the value is subjective to the consumer base. And you see that across the board with like the best reference I can make is like lightsabers, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to go down the line and pick the value that matters to you as a consumer. It's completely subjective. But that's it's going to resonate with the consumer base differently at different price points, at different qualities.
Of course it is, and that's exactly the point we're trying to make here tonight, right? Because once the Sky Striker was literally in limbo because it was competing against two other projects, one which was just skyrocketing and taking off like gangbusters, and the other one which was stalling alongside. Right, the Haslab, the Sky Striker itself. The Sky Striker pivoted well. It pivoted incredibly well and said, "You know what? Screw it. We're going for broke." And when they went for broke, not only did they already release all the tiers ahead of time, they said, "Screw it. We're going to give you a sticker pack, and we're going to give you 3 additional figures." Right. Yeah. And holy crap, did that save their
I think the sticker pack is what saved it. I'll be honest.
Absolutely. 100%.
Do you think that's the benefit, though? That's the question. Do you think it's, as a consumer, Jay, because you're just as much as consumer as I am, is it beneficial to see these tiers for a project? Does that help incite interest on the project? Or do you like the mystery and the, if we get here, we can unlock this, and there's an allure to it, I feel like.
No, there is an allure to that. However, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, I do actually like reaching that goal. Fine. That's one thing. But here's the problem. Once that allure is gone and you are sinking in a freaking sinking ship, you better start unlocking those tiers as quickly as, you better start revealing those tiers as fast as humanly possible. Because right now it doesn't look like the Engine of Vengeance is going to go anywhere.
No.
It doesn't look like especially, now is the time to release these tiers.
Especially against Eternium. There's not a chance. No way.
Dude, if they have any chance, whatsoever, because then you know what? What's really strange is it happened with the Return of the Jedi. And I don't know why they haven't done it. When it came down to the last 2 weeks, they went ahead and said, "Screw it, show everything," because we're freaking floundering here. Then they showed and it literally got worse and worse and worse and worse. Unfortunately, at 11,000 backers, you got the Gamorrean Guard. At 13,500 backers, you got the most insulting package ever: a bunch of bones and a backdrop. Oh my God, people literally lost their minds. They were pissed off, and that really killed it for them. After that, it was just insulting even more. They offer you Salacious Crumb, a tiny little figure, right, for 16,000 backers. And the one tier that would have probably helped them a lot, the one thing that they needed was Luke Skywalker. He was all the way at the end at 19,000 backers. They hadn't even gotten anywhere near
the
9,000 backers.
Exactly.
That they needed.
Same thing. If you reordered those tiers, right? If you had to reorder them, keep them, but you had to reorder them. The sensible thing for me says give the consumer what they want. Include the Luke at the first tier. Now, does that mean that everything is going to drop off after that? No. because you're going to want the Luke, and then you're going to be, oh, we got the Luke. Now we got to get the bones. Imagine if you had fandom over the bones, you know, or if you had fandom over the other stuff.
Absolutely not. Nobody's just about
If
goddamn bones.
But like
Nobody
example,
wants
not
bones,
I'm just
man.
using it as an example, right? But if you reordered those tier structures instead of Luke in last, Luke first, do you think it would have done better? You know,
I did a whole video on that.
It's hard to say.
I did a whole video on the need to reorder these things, and and you know what? Let go of your hubris, let go of your pride, and reorder the freaking things. You know what I mean? Put Luke second. I wasn't gonna say Luke first. That's ridiculous. What I was saying is keep the Gamorrean guard where he is. Put Luke next. Put Salacious Crumb third, and then put the bones. Why? Because with the Gamorrean guard, he got swallowed by the freaking thing. He needs to be there. Yes. Then put Luke, because he's those are the only two figures in the entire offering that actually interacted with the freaking Rancor. And then afterwards, Salacious Crumb, where the hell was he? He was upstairs looking like watching people get eaten, right? Yeah. Fine. And then the bag of bones, it's just that last throwaway tier at the end where everyone's like, well, whatever, you know, we like, if you're going to give me anything for the last thing, fine, give that to me, right?
But I think they follow that the old business model we're used to on the playground, which was first the worst, second the best, third the nerd with the golden bird. You know, it's like if they offered these tiers just reordered, if we look at the Engine of Vengeance the same way, if it was just reordered and you know, relined up instead of the way it currently is, I think it would have done a lot better than we're currently sitting.
There's also the one thing which they didn't count on, and it's actually the same thing that happened with Modi, right? The one thing that they didn't count on was fan response, right? The fans looked at the Rancor and said, "Why are you offering us this shit?" Right? Why are you offering it to us and not offering the the absolute three characters that are absolutely needed?
But also Star Wars, who puts out 1 billion things every year. Same with Marvel. They put out 1 million things a year. Eternia came around once in 40 years. They also offered a figure that was at the bottom of a mold that nobody really knew or saw. And it was something new and in a fan base that is feverish. So
no, I get that. But with the Rancor, you need to offer the very first, the three characters you need to offer are the ones that interacted with the Rancor.
Do you think Rancor is as popular as Eternia?
Yes.
Do you think in a consumer-based market,
yes,
Rancor is as value as the consumer base against Eternia?
Right. Yes.
I think you're not even close.
Right.
You're not even seeing it.
Right.
That's a joke.
Here's the thing.
There's no way. Hold on, Jake. There's no way. Hold on. Rancor in a Star Wars consumer base, when they have their own theme park and there's straws and cups and hats and underwear and the whole wazoo, against a Motu fan base that hasn't had Eternia, and we're talking about value here, right? Star Wars, which has the megalithic mountainous stream of product that comes in, not only from Disney, from Kenner, from Hasbro, from all of the other companies, against Masters, which we've never seen in Eternia, which I can point out 10, 15 different types of Rancors that are out there. Lego, you just go down the list. How many Eternias do we have? So if I have to look at value, if we're talking about value here, I'm not even going to put them in the same class of interest. No way.
No, you're okay. So I'll you bring up some good points, right? But I'll put this to bed right now. Masters has nowhere near the reach of Star Wars. Nowhere near the buying power.
Sure, they don't have Disney either as their
Can I talk for a second? I mean, you've been talking for a while. I shut up for you. But seriously, Master Universe, unfortunately, does not have the buying power that Star Wars have. This should have been a home run. This should have been a freaking home run.
Masters isn't owned by Disney.
If Star Wars would have listened to the fans, okay, if the Haslab team would have listened to the fans, this would have been a home run. And what happened at the end? They tried their best to listen to the fans, right? At the last 2 weeks, right? They said, okay, fine, we give up. You don't like any of the tiers, we're going to throw in a bonus tier for you. It's called Malakili, the Rancor Keeper, right? And that boosted it so much to a certain degree. But the two characters that could have saved this project, again, one of only the three characters that should have been there: Malakili, right? Ula the dancer, okay? Ula the dancer, and Leia, the three characters that really would have galvanized this project, right? They did not want to. The two of them they did not want to touch, and because of that, this project died on its feet. Okay, and I hate to say it because I love Master of the Universe, right? You know that. I like
Yeah,
Masters is
no,
my
I
biggest,
know.
Masters is my biggest thing. But I hate to say it. In terms, like, you're right about value. You're right about allure. You're right about all that. But in terms of buying power, the Rancor would have buried it if it had the right things going for it.
Sure, and that's what they're saying. The same thing right now in a few other lives. Joe Amato's on one right now. Fans of Power. He's talking about the consumer base probably would have rallied, a lot harder against a Hero, right? If Hero was offered, it probably would have. We would have seen a lot better response, despite Modi's fandom, despite Keklar, if they offered identifiable characters that people want. Blast Attack, Hero. You go down the list of all the Motu characters they have in their repertoire. Same with the Star Wars thing. We would have a different reaction. So yes, I agree with you there. But like you said, it was 2 weeks too late.
Yeah, for Rancor. Here's
Yeah.
Joe's been on the channel a couple times, and we've had a discussion. Here's the thing about Eternia. Unfortunately, even though I love Eternia and I want to see it succeed as much as possible, the reality is, even if you throw in Hero, which will probably get a bigger response, even if you threw in another, like the what's called the Council of Elders. Heck, if you threw in everything, right? I think it still would have hit a certain plateau at this stage. There's really not, and this is where I'll agree with you. A surprise tier right now, I think, would blow people's minds right now at this stage, right?
Yeah.
A surprise tier right now, probably not this week, but the next week.
Yeah, because we haven't moved.
Yeah,
but maybe 100 since Modi.
But we're not going down, which is the
Right.
important part, right?
Right.
But this is the lull that happens with most, even the His tank. It actually it plateaued, right? There was a point where people were like, okay, now I got to wait because I still have another 3 weeks on this. I'm going to wait and see what happens, right? That happens all the time. And that's exactly what's happening right now with Eternia. People are like, okay, I have a whole week to figure out what to do. And it's a lot of money. So people are like, okay, buy the time. And you know what? Mattel's doing the right thing. And if there is some magical, you and I already talked about this. If there is a third tier out there, that's
But it back.
Right?
Again, then you have to just go back and take a step back and be like, yeah, look, it did back. So anything else after this is a bonus. I have to look at it like that. The other ones didn't even back, didn't even get close to backing. Whereas we've already backed. So anything after this is purely a bonus. It's purely icing on the cake, right? So in that regard, I feel good about it because we did back. Anything that does come after this to push through, say something comes out right after Keklar, like another tier, that's incentive for the consumer to push for those bonuses. But when a project plateaus and they're scrambling to put out something to gain interest just to back, that's a dangerous environment to be in because Correct. As a company, are now aware, wow, this value that we're put a price point on and we're offering to the consumer is not being met by any type of interest or any type of numbers that we can see will get there. So that's an interesting place to find yourself. On either side of those spectrums, it's a very interesting place for the companies to find themselves. Yeah, and the consumer too.
Well, it's just the way it is, right? And you know what, you're talking. We talked about planning in the beginning, and you're right. You're absolutely right. Planning is the biggest thing because, and here's the biggest faux pas, if in my opinion, here's the biggest faux pas on anything. Why the hell would you have 3 different Haslabs at the same freaking time? Like that doesn't make any sense. That's the worst.
Well, hey, that is Mattel Creations. The Mattel Creations put out some art series Barbie.
No, I get that.
They put out a Tina Turner. They put out a Tina Turner doll that sold out, by the way. They put out the Virgil Abloh drop, and we're still in an Eternia environment.
Yeah, but
so but I agree with you. It doesn't make sense to throw these bricks in the road while you're on a solitary path towards a goal of a project, I agree with you there. I don't think it's smart to put a bunch of bricks in the road when you're trying to drive a straight line.
Barbie is a different market. Hot Wheels is a different market, and you know what? There is,
and yeah, that's four active projects against Eternia.
There is not exactly. They're different projects entirely. The markets.
No, but within Mattel, like
no,
you
but
said,
they love that.
3 Haslabs at once. You know what I mean?
No, but that's the point, right? There is that, right? It's only one.
Yeah.
It's only one. It's only one. One crowdsource project, right? The one that's actually kind of doing something else against it is the Ablo, right? That's the one. The Virgil Ablo. That's the one that's kind of sorry, what what are we doing?
No, but that was in response to your question of like, why the hell would Haslab have 3 Haslabs at once? I have no idea what the hell they're doing. Same at Mattel. I have no idea why they would offer all this stuff at the same time as something else is going on, such a big project. So it's very interesting. I don't know what the value is for me as a consumer / collector, but I could tell you, it's putting us against the wall too. Like you said, you're having to choose between your babies, and it's really tough. It's really, really tough.
Yeah, that's really where we are at this stage, and you know what? It is unfortunate. We do have to make those hard decisions, right?
Yeah.
You know what, Ray? We've been talking for a long time. Let's say hi to the chat. See who was here tonight, because you know what? Everybody's been asking questions.
I'm gonna try to come back in a little while. I'm gonna charge up, and I have to check out this fight. I got a buddy that's fighting tonight, so I want to check him out live right now. So
it was great having you tonight. If you
Thanks,
come back,
guys.
great. If not, then it's all good. Thanks for being here, brother. Always
appreciate it.
The conversation. You do well, man. I'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you, brother. You too, brother.
Later, guys. Take it easy. All right. So in the chat we have Aaron Hardy. We got Jazz Terber. Good to see you, brother. Greedo and a Speedo. Always good to see you, brother. Joe OC. Always good to see you, Joe. Ostromandus Toys. Good to see you, Oz. How are you doing tonight? Collecting Classics, of course, he was here. Now he's gone. But he will be back probably. Jay Coombs, good to see you, brother. James Serapio, always good to see James. Anybody else? Demon 888. Nolan is in the house. Good to see Nolan. Dinosaur Parks and such. Thank you for being here, Dinosaur. Rhea's in the house. Jay Coombs again. Mythic Dolphin, what's going on? I backed the Gullwing during the early bird pre-order. It was 119. Wow. I know it's crazy. It's crazy the way that works, right? But let's we're gonna get to the Ramen Toy section. We're gonna get to that. Aaron Hardy is in the house. Good to see him. Oz, your devices are not connected. You might have to restart. Mythic Dolphin. Who else is in the house? Retro Collector. Good to see you, brother. Toy corporations are using business concept known as the emotional marketing to sell their geek/nostalgia-based products. A component of emotional marketing is fear, the fear of missing out. Correct, and this is something that we are constantly talking about here. Max S is in the house. Chuck Petty is in the house. Good to see you guys. Who else is in the house? Rolando Flores just showed up. Good to see you, brother. Anybody else who I haven't said hi to yet? Princeton Phalanx is the house. Everybody's cool. David Yarbird, good to see you, brother. Anybody else? Night Watch Collection. Crowdfunding should be figures that are so big retailers will pick them up. Something like a Lord of the Rings Balrog. That's interesting. But you know what? There is also another component of that. So maybe and we can discuss that at length. But I'm going to say hi to everybody else. So I'll come back to that question, to that comment. Night Watch Collection. Jermaine Hunter, yeah, I regret not backing the Sky Striker and the Razor Crest. I know it's hard, brother. Yeah, but we only have so much money for everything, right, Jermaine? Mark Fujita, good to see you, brother. I don't think the Sky Striker would have funded without the Cobra Commander hijack. Again, that is a very interesting point, and you know what? I sort of agree. There was something happening, but it was up against two other projects which were killing it, right? Like one of them was killing it, the other one was floundering just as badly. So they pivoted, right, and they did a great job. Kirk's Corner. I'll get the Eternia locally. No way I'm letting them have $550 until 2024. Brother, I'm not sure if that's... You're going to be paying a lot more than $550 then, Kirk. I'm sorry to say it that way. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Tsunami. So everybody's live streaming at the same time. You guys really need to coordinate your schedules. Geek Dad Life and Hebro are also on right now. I hear you, Tsunami, but this has always been my time, as well. I always start streaming at 8 o'clock. It's not like any of us really, we all chose these schedules, and that's the way it is. I understand they're going to get more than more people to get to their streams, but this is my audience, and I come here because I want to have some time with you guys. Your weekend is important to me because you know what I have something that I want to say, and I really appreciate everybody being here. So thank you guys, really appreciate that. Yojo C, good to see you, brother. Jay Coombs, Hordak 23, good to see you, brother. How's it going? Arthur Hall is in the house. Got 3 of the Strat Strikers, dude. You're awesome. Let's see here. Darth Music Wizard, wrong time, brother. They have blown easy points at every turn. Yep, that does happen. Unfortunately, it really is. Has that business scam always? Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired, brother. Arthur Hall's in the house. Duchess of Darkness, good to see you. How's it going? Kevin Herbert, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Anybody else that I haven't said hi to yet? Pass 3-6 fun. Good to see you, my friend. Find love, the best dating sites. Yay! I gotta somebody eliminate that for me. Jeez Louise. Dinosaur Parks and such. I want a Mondo Eternia. Dude, you are crazy. You are crazy. Oh my god. Holy crap. Mythic Dolphin. I hope we get Keklar. Yes, I do too, my friend. Jabbar Robbins. Adventures of Sonic and Sonic Saturday AM will be 30 years. Holy crap. Now I'm really feeling old. Oh my gosh. Just crazy. Aaron Hardy's here. Speaking of FOMO, Mayfix is releasing a Webman as an exclusive. Crazy. Nolan and, of course, Darth William. Excellent. All right, guys. So there are a couple questions which I wanted to the comments which so Jazz Tabor says, when you get Castle Grayskull for 2 cents, everything else seems expensive. All right, Jazz Tabor. I mean, like that was a freak. That was a freak. Example that will never happen again. I don't know what happened there. That was just crazy. I don't know if they were doing some clearances or clearancing things out like internally. I don't know what happened. So yeah, that was huge. That was an absolute crazy thing that happened that day. But thank you for bringing that up. Dinosaur Parks and such. Time for a Mondo 1/6 scale. Oh my god, dude, what is with you and these gigantic playsets? There's no one would be able to fit that in their house. No one would be able to fit that in their house. That's absolutely crazy. I guess that's why you're called Dinosaur Parks and such, dude. You want big things, right? You want huge things. I would love that too. I just have no place. I have no place for it. That's crazy. And how much would it cost? Oh my god. Retro Collector. Toy corporations are using. We talked about this. So yes, FOMO is basically the biggest thing right now for nostalgia, 100%. And of course, the fear of missing out. In terms of like these crowdsourced projects, yeah, FOMO is a huge thing about that. And introducing the idea of bonus tiers and now limited bonus tiers, where if you don't back it by a certain date, you don't get it. Oh my god, that is the ultimate FOMO. Right. So Retro Collector, you're absolutely right on the money. And there's a lot of psychology behind it, right? It really is. You got those Esper powers, like, right? It's a lot of that going on. So yes, 100%. Jay Coombs, throwing the Goblin community worse. It showed how shameless they were to push a product that no one wanted. Well, hold on for a second. I see what you're saying. Yes. Now, I'm not going to say nobody wanted the Haslab Engine of Vengeance. I think there are people who really want that toy. However, we can see that because they're not like people are not abandoning it en masse. It's taking a long time. But I will say that introducing the Goblin Queen, which is an X-Men figure, really has sort of shown their desperation at that time, because initially they said they're not going to show any tiers, right? They're not going to unveil. They're not going to unveil anything else, right? After unveiling Mephisto as a a tease, right? But they totally went back on that, like 180. It was crazy. And you know what? Even the bonus tier, Rob Reyes, right? They caved in with that too, because they realized that they made a mistake by not putting it as a viable option, right? So they said, okay, screw it. We want you guys to have Rob Reyes, right? Here's the head sculpt. It's a good gesture, and it's good PR, but it really did show the holes in their strategy. It was absolutely crazy. James, never really viewed her as a character outside of X teams. Just felt like throwing stuff to the wall and see what sticks. Exactly. That's a sentiment a lot of people are echoing. James, At Chuck Petty, unfortunately, the tooling doesn't exist, so that needs to be covered first. Exactly. That's the way that's the way these gigantic projects are. They need to cover the initial costs for these gigantic tools made of huge metal pieces that over time deteriorate. Right. So those things don't last, and that's actually one of the biggest reasons why they are the way the project are situated the way they are, and why the initial cost. It's like buying a car or a home. You got to pay for the bulk of the project first, and then everything else whittles down as the project goes forward. So it's that kind of thing. Aaron Hardy, I wouldn't argue that the Hell Charger is not what anyone wants, except for Marvel. Hasbro doesn't control this project. As I said, I think there are a lot of people who want the Hell Charger. I do. I think that there are a lot of fans of Rob Reyes and, of course, that version um, Ghost Rider. But I don't think that the majority of Ghost Rider fans were expecting a car. I think that that's actually what happened, unfortunately. Night Watch Collection. Crowdfunding should be figures that are so big retailers won't pick them up. Something like a Lord of the Rings Balrog. Okay, yes, I mean like but we do like the correlation there works, right? Night Watch Collection. The biggest, most successful projects are the ones that are gigantic. Let's be honest. This guy failed. Originally, this guy failed as a project. They brought him. They gave more time, and it literally blew expectations out of the water after that. Like it went crazy. Transformers fans came out of the wazoo. That's because there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough advance notice for him for people to get ready to actually purchase him. Right. That's the reason why that one didn't really do well. But as soon as they expanded it another extra 3 months, people went gangbusters on that thing. That was just crazy. Super 7 Ninja Van was overpriced. NECA basically did theirs for half the cost, and it was made to order at a set price. If you pre-order, you get it. If not, too bad. That's a good point. However, there is the opinion that why give it a set timeline, right? And this is somewhat of why people are kind of have this love-hate relationship with Mondo. These 24-hour periods, or in the initial onset, they were literally saying you have one day to buy this, and there's a limited stock. People hated that because what's it called? Scareglow sold out in like minutes. It was ridiculous. And the same thing is happening with Mattel Creations, right? What's it called? One Dar sold out in seconds. Same thing with Koldar, sold out in a day, right? And Koldar's not coming back. One Dar luckily got a second release, but it's these things. Some people appreciate the idea of timed exclusives. Then again, exclusives are just like a pain in the butt to begin with. So it's all over the place in terms of like what people are willing to do. Retro Collector, my main worry is that the escalating price trend. If the engine of so we're talking about this now. If the engine of Vengeance fails, it may lead to some course correction, but I think the damage may already be done to the hobby and may bring prices out. Retro Collector, I don't think that's really and this is what I was trying to explain at the beginning. Yes, there is some validity to that. I mean, like, all companies will test the waters. Every single company out there is going to say, how much are people willing to pay for this? Like they do that all the time because they want to maximize profits. But they're already experiencing this now with the price hikes that are already reaching the market now. They're seeing that people are becoming really, really choosy. They are not picking up action figures at this stage. So because of that, they're always reevaluating. They're like, Jesus Christ, we set this out at $25, and you know what? They're starting to sit on the shelves. Like, we're getting returns all the time. All this plastic packaging, all this non-plastic packaging. Our partners in the retail space are saying, what the hell's going on with this stuff? We're getting tons of returns, and people are returning them with different pieces inside. You got to do something. This is what happens. The consumer does have the power to enact change. But for a retail level, it happens at the retail level. I think that's what people have to understand, right? When you start putting figures out at a certain price point in retail, when people stop buying it at retail, that's when the retailers say, hey, this is not good. Don't give this to us anymore. And they stop collecting. They stop carrying it. And that's actually the way to do it, right? Trying to say, and I know there are a lot of channels out there that are echoing this, that if you back Eternia at $550, we will never see play sets ever again. That's false. We know that Snake Mountain is coming. We know that Snake Mountain is going to be at retail. We know Snake Mountain is not going to be anywhere near $150. We know that. It's a freaking plastic shell, for crying out loud, right? If you look at what they just released for Castle Grayskull and try to justify that Castle Grayskull at $100 USD is going to be worth less than Snake Mountain, which doesn't have any features outside, doesn't even have a microphone, right? It has nothing but plastic features, right? And you're going to try and justify $100 product with lights, sound, retracting gate, motorized options, right? And you're going to say that this is not as valuable as this Snake Mountain? If Mattel does that, they're out of their freaking minds, because they literally put the stake in the ground with Castle Grayskull from Netflix. Okay, so the retail space is a completely different beast. And for somebody to, and for multiple channels to continue to echo, no, if you back this project, we're going to be paying $200 per action figure. That doesn't make any freaking sense. The consumer knows what they want, and once they hit that ceiling, it's going to be like, basically you go to your partner and you say, I want this, please, can I have it? It's like, honey, no, we're not going to get that at $50. That's not going to happen. And it's like, but it's only $50. Like, honey, think about what you're saying. You can't buy that at $50. When it comes back down to like 25, then you can buy it. And you know what? That's the logical conversation that should be had. When it gets to retail, that can be had, because once those $50 action figures sit there for like a year, and then Target and Walmart are like, yeah, we don't want this anymore. This is not good, right? And that all of a sudden that sends a clear indication to the companies that, yeah, we've hit our ceiling and we have to go back, right? That happens. That will happen because people reach the ceilings, right? Crowdsource projects are crowdsource projects specifically, right? And they have their own ecosphere, okay? They have their own ecosphere, sorry. And because of that, when you fund a project for $550 for a crowdsource project, that's where you set the bar for a crowdsource project, which is why, and this is the correlation, and we have to realize this. That's why and this is actually the equilibrium that happens here. This is what happened. That's why when the Hiss Tank, okay, and this is important, when the Hiss Tank, which is a vehicle, all right, very successful, funded in less than a day, right, hit 26,772 backers at $300, right? That was the benchmark that they said, okay, for vehicles we can do this with a Haslab project, right? So what was the very next project that they did? They said, all right, the next one is guaranteed to sell because it's a Marvel project. It's the 50th anniversary. Let's see if they'll buy a Charger for $350 at a Haslab. That's what happened, guys. What happened was they were so successful with a Hiss Tank Haslab that they said, okay, $350 for vehicles on Haslabs is where that people are comfortable paying. Let's add another $50 on that and see what happens. And everybody rejected it, right? But there are a number of reasons why they rejected it, right? But the testing of the waters was not in retail anymore. This was actually just for Haslabs. So you're going to see this constant back and forth. It's the same thing that happened with Galactus. We had the Marvel Sentinel, right? We had the Marvel Sentinel at $349.99. What happened at the very next project? We had Galactus. And how much was Galactus? Right? How much was Galactus? Guess what? Galactus was $399.99. That was an extra $50. Do you see how that works? Right? It's not what happens at retail is that the test marketing in retail is what happens in the test market in retail. They're going to figure that out. But the test marketing inside of Haslab, that's where that's going to happen. The first successful project in Haslab for a giant mechanized idea was $349.99. They said, okay, cool, people will buy this at $349. They're a lot of people were saying that's outrageous, right? And then the very next project, they're like, oh yeah, now we're going to give you Galactus and we're going to raise it another $50. And people went crazy and they bought it anyway, right? This is the test market that happens here, right? The test market here happens within this ecosphere, right? Which is why for the G.I. Joe Hiss Tank, it started at $299, and they said, okay, people are willing to buy at $299. What happens with the next project? We're going to do another vehicle. All right, here's another vehicle. Pump it up another $50. All right, this is not going to work. We have to go back down. And that's the kind of thing that you're going to see. That's what you're going to see with these types of projects. In the retail space, it's going to be the same idea. You're going to see people. You're going to see Master Universe, right? Right now they're up to almost $18, right? They're up to $18, right? And people are buying it at $18. When it hits 25, or sorry, when it hits $22, then all of a sudden they start selling a lot less, and a lot less, and a lot less, and then all of a sudden, okay, Mattel's going to be like, okay, I think we're going to go back to $18 because 22 seems to be where they don't want to buy them anymore, right? That's where that happens. Same thing with GI Joe. Same thing with Marvel, right? They're at $22 or $23 right now. If they go up to 25, and all of a sudden people are like, whoa, hold on, we're not buying these anymore, right? That's when all of a sudden things are going to take a course correction, and that's actually what's probably going to happen there. And as I said, the same thing is happening with the Haslab projects, right? You see the incremental increases in similar projects, right? Giant robots went from 349, which was the ceiling. A lot of people were saying we're not going to pay any more for this, but then they released another gigantic beast. He's not a robot, but they released another gigantic figure, an extra $50 more, and people were happy to pay it, right? Whereas here we have a vehicle, which a lot of people were anticipating at $299, right, $300, and the very next thing was another vehicle to try and test the waters, and they raised another $50, as is their MO, their modus operandi. That's what they do to find out whether or not the ceiling has been hit, and the ceiling got hit. All right, the ceiling got hit at $349.99. That's what happened, right? And that's where we are right now. Sunny Panago, subclassic collectors. Thanks for the buzz off. Thanks for buzz off, Moto Australia. Absolutely, that's great. I love the fact that the community is helping each other. That's awesome. Mark Fujita, I don't think the Sky Striker would have funded without Cobra Commander Hijack. This is true. I think unfortunately it was up to there was 3 different Haslabs happening at the exact same time. The first one was a runaway success with the Proto Pack. The second and the third, unfortunately, were fighting against each other, literally eating each other's markets. And the rank core unfortunately stayed the course and did not course correct, did not pivot until the very, very end. Whereas the Sky Striker, they pivoted very early and said, "Screw it, we need to make this thing a success." They gave up everything. They gave up Mickey Mouse. They gave us Mickey Mouse Coco, and 2 additional Vipers, and the project literally started moving like crazy. And then finally, when the rank core decided to actually do something and give up Malakili, it gave a little bit of a blip, but that was it. It was destined to fail. And once it failed, the Sky Striker went crazy. It almost reached ketchup and mustard. Aaron Hardy, I can't make somebody who doesn't care pay. Unfortunately, Hasbro is unconcerned on the management side if this doesn't get backed. Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. But they do lose no matter what. There was a lot of research and development. There was a lot of research and development done with Rob Reyes, and they will lose that money. That money will be lost, and that's thousands of dollars. That's tens of thousands of dollars lost. So it is a loss. Do I expect to see a Charger type vehicle come out in the future without flame effects, without the hood scoop, without the air intake, and possibly for maybe some sort of vampire figure? I don't know. Yeah, I totally expect to see that. Tsunami, yeah, I know, brother. We're all kind of impacting on each other, but this is our audiences, and we have to cater to our audiences. So that's the way it is. Okay, well, yeah, of course. Eternia and crowdsource projects are the hottest are the hottest things to talk. The push button topics right now. Of course, we're all going to be talking about it. So and I am talking about Snake Mountain, but I guess I'm talking about it a little too late for you. Kirk's Corner. Plastic hollow proton pack for $400. You say that, but honestly, try getting the most detailed looking proton pack anywhere else for anything less, right? I understand what you're saying. You'd rather have the heft and the weight of an Alice frame, proton pack, which is made out of aluminum, all that crazy stuff, right? But really, when you're walking around a convention center, and then you got this thing strapped to your back all day, do you really want a 60-pound proton pack strapped to your back? The answer is no. You want something which is less than 25 pounds. Trust me, it'll let sweat equity at conventions. It's crazy. Hordak 23. So Jay, always having guests now. Well, we all came for Jay just talking to us. Well, Hordak. So I bring in guests when I feel that there is something important to talk about that I can really have a conversation with. That's very important to me. And you know what? I think it adds to the conversation. But I always have discussions even without guests. It happens all the time. But I'm glad you pointed that out. I will bring in guests from time to time. Arthur Hall. Hasbro is run by nitwit. Oh my God, shots fired. Hasbro no brainer is a 6-inch X-wing Ghost Rider car should be sold in stores. What's wrong with these mutants? Jeez Louise. Tell us how you really feel, Arthur. Holy crap. Jabbar Robin, sup Jay and Ray. I literally forgot that not only He-Man and the Motu cartoon were celebrated 40 years next year, but also the 2 cartoons of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Jail White did both shows. Wow, I did not know that. That's crazy. Thank you for pointing that out, Jabbar Robbins. That's some crazy stuff that you just revealed to everybody here. That's amazing. Hold on. Sorry, I already read that. Where am I right now? I'm lost. Let's see here. Oh man. Oh geez, that's so far back. All right, hold on. Jeez, I am so far back. Here we go. Okay, speaking of FOMO, Aaron, speaking of FOMO, Mayfix is releasing a webman as an exclusive. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's definitely gonna get some people in a rut. Nolan, Mondo Eternia. Oh, geez, you could live in that thing. Yeah, 100%, absolutely, Nolan. Thank you for bringing that up. That's crazy. Dinosaur parks and such, dude. You got some cash to burn because that would be nuts. Armando, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Gwildor, evening, everyone. Evening, Gwildor. Good to see you. Jabbar Robbins, Mattel should just make a Royal Palace. They should. They really, really should. Honestly, Eternos needs to be made, honestly. Great Cornholio. Hey, what's going on, Cornholio? I'm ready for the next Transformers Haslab. They're supposed to be shipping Star Saber soon. Dude, that's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Congratulations to everybody who backed that one. Gwildor, hello. Hey, Jane Sarapio. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, you guys are all having your own conversations. Ray Black, moo, moo, moo. Absolutely. Moo. Armando, after watching Pixel Dan's video with Mondo, I'm all in on that Ultimate Battle Cat. Dude, crazy prices. Thank God they actually have a real payment plan. Oh, my God. JB, what's going on, JB? What's going on? I love those initials, man. I'm loving those initials. What up, Big J? Got an Eternia, which was expensive, no doubt, but I always wanted it, so I couldn't pass the opportunity to buy it. I just hope that Mondo does the payment plan for the Battle Cat. The answer is yes. I've already gone in on 2 different payment plans for Mondo. We're good. Chuck Petty. Over 6,120 people wanted the Hell Charger, but that early bird on the YouTube haters killed the project. Made to order is the only way to go. It's not really the haters either. I mean, yes, that contributed to it 100%, absolutely. But I'll be honest with you, brother. There's just something about if you're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Ghost Rider, you gotta bring in more than just one Ghost Rider. That's my opinion. I think 3 Ghost Riders would have been the way to go. Seriously, that's my opinion. I've been there for a while. Armando. JB, there's a payment plan on Battlecat. Excellent. Absolutely. Thank you, Armando. Elizabeth Laurie. Hi. Hey, what's going on, Elizabeth Laurie? Good to see you. Mythic Dolphin. Mondo has set 1 week window, 7 days to pre-order Ultimate Battlecat 10/25 through 11/01/2022. Absolutely. Thank you for that confirmation, Mythic Dolphin. You are the best. Gaiton Horio. I backed the Hell Charger until the early bird failed. I liked the car and would have sold the tier figures to recoup some of the money. Absolutely. This is the problem, right? The value, again, this is what we're talking about. The actual value that's perceived in this is really one of the biggest problems that we're having right now. Chris is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Man, okay, I gotta start skipping, unfortunately, guys. Mythic Dolphins, Mythic Legion, Necronomicus wave drops 11/4/2022, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all pre-orders will run at least 4 weeks from 4 Horsemen. Great. I'm loving the fact that they're giving more time for people to order these things. Armando, Analog Toys has an interesting take on Eternia. There seems to be a group of toy channels teaming up against others. That's weird. They're fighting with one another? I've never heard of that. Why would anybody fight against one another? I mean, I disagree with Tony's take on it is interesting. I mean, I did watch the video, Armando, but I'm not going to say that anybody's fighting with one another. I mean, Tony says at the end as well. He says, if this is something you've always wanted, please enjoy it. He says that, right? There's nothing wrong with with what Tony says at the end. I totally agree with his take at the very end. People who want it, people who see value in it. If you want it, buy it. And he wished everybody who bought it very well. That's great. Toy collecting has become like politics. I don't know. If you look at it that way, yes. But if not, again, I never put politics into it. I say if you want it, if it's something that you enjoy, buy it. If it's something you've always wanted and you've loved it, and it doesn't matter how much it costs and you can afford it, buy it. That's always been my take on these things. It's up to you to make that decision. Um, all right, Jake Coombs. Sorry, you don't army build a Ghost Rider. You army build a troop builder. Well, I mean, I hear you, Jake Coombs. that has not escaped me. That's for sure. Renegade Biker. Hi, Jay. I got the Crimson Twins and Stalker today. I'm hoping to get Megatron and Baroness and Bumblebee and Stalker hopefully soon. Jeez Louise, dude, you're going on a tear. I'm hoping to get Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender by the end of the year. Brother, you are on a tear. Congratulations, dude. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you got all that stuff. That's amazing. Nice score, Renegade. Yes, nice score indeed. Wildor, I wouldn't mind a 1/6 scale jaw bridge to place He-Man behind. That would look pretty amazing, kind of like NECA did years ago as part of the statue collection. Absolutely, Wildor. 100%. I'm totally in on that with you. Zoran the Barbarian. Hey, J. What's going on, Zoran? Yo, Josie, I kind of regret this getting his tank. I'll just flip it. All right, brother. I mean, you're not gonna have any shortages of buyers. Senju Kiryu. Senju Kiryu. Good to see you, brother. Kevin Smith's He-Man is the best. You know what? I liked it. I really liked it. I'm not gonna say it's the best. It's got its problems. It's got major problems. But did I enjoy it? Yes, I enjoyed it. Darth Woody's Wizard. I can handle the 60 pounds, no problem. There you go, brother. Pick that up. Strap it to your back. Get out to the floor. Pay that $2,000 for it. Absolutely, no worries. Like, if you need the authenticity, Darth Wizard, and you have the money, buy it. That's what I've always said that. Buy it. Go for it. If you can find that customizer who's going to build you that Alice frame with the aluminum frame Ghostbusters Proton Pack, buy it. Do it. Make sure you enjoy it. That's what you need to do, brother. That's what you need to do. Jaleel. Okay, thank you, Jabbar. I did not know how to say that. So Jaleel. All right, I'll get that right one day, Jabbar. Jaleel. All right, I will get that. Gwildor, I want one of the 2-cent Grayskulls that you found. LOL. You know what, Gwildor? Send me a PM. Where do you live? That's the biggest barrier to me sending one of these things out. I don't want it to arrive to you in pieces. Like, that's the biggest problem with these stupid things. That's my biggest concern. So, Gwildor, send me your. Actually, if everybody's actually interested in one of those things, send me a message. Depending on where you are, we'll see what happens. Jabbar, Senju Kiryu. That's She-Ra. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna. What you got? I guess you're seeing I guess you guys are having your own conversation. Obi-Wan, wow, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. It's been a long time. David Yarbird, I'm hoping for a Haslab flag to go with the Sky Striker. That would be nice. But honestly, what's the price tag on that going to be? Just crazy. Chuck Petty, Armando, you are right. How'd you buy? You're right. How did you buy and collect toys becoming so political? Killing the joy of my hobby. Too many hate mongers. I am not making this political, Chuck. Like that, I don't know where you're I don't know where you're coming with that. I'm not trying to make this political. I have no aspirations of making this political. I say the same thing every single time. If you want it, if you enjoy it, it's your choice to make, and it's your choice to buy it. So be happy with that, right? I talk about the fact that certain prices, to me, are a little bit higher and astronomical. But if you enjoy it, if it's something you want, I don't try to make you decide to not buy it. I'm not even trying to convince you not to buy it. If you want it, buy it. That is your choice. There's no politics here. There really isn't. I don't know why people are saying that now all of a sudden, just because I mentioned Tony that I'm making this political. No, I said don't. I said Tony's cool, man. Like, if he has his opinion, he has his opinion. So, whatever. I mean, like, I don't agree with Tony's take. I don't, right? But at the end, he said the one thing which sort of, covered all of his bases, which, if you enjoy it and you have always wanted it and you have the money, then go ahead and I'm happy for you. That's what he said. And you know what? Because of that, at least you did that, Tony. At least you did that. My overall opinion of this, we're not screwed, Tony. We're not. Trust me. We are not screwed. What else here? I lost my place. Where am I? No. JB, thanks, Rondo. Absolutely. Ja Rule. Oh my God. I'm sorry, my friend. I can't pronounce that name. I really can't. I apologize. We are doing well, though. Thank you so much. Good to see you, brother. Or sister. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm really sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, Chuck. Okay. 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 All right. Cool. 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 I'm being yelled at now. No, it's cool, Chuck. I get it. I get it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. I appreciate. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm getting scared now, Chuck. You're scaring me. Yojo C, I'm a grown man. I buy what I want. Exactly. Exactly. Ostromandis, I may not be able to jump in. Laptop's giving issues. Yeah, it's okay. I figured as much. I saw you trying, and it didn't pop. So that's okay, Oz. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for trying. Chuck, Tony's cool. He's oh man, he's not cool. Okay, okay, okay. Again, Chuck, easy, easy. Let's all let people be, right? Like, let's all let people be. Tony is Tony. He's gonna say what he's got his opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. Do you remember me? Hello, I found a local Target NECA TMNT Chrome Dome General Tag. What? Dude, that's a deal. There you go. That is a deal. See, they're out there. They are out there. They exist. And you have 4 Chrome Domes, 2 on the dude. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Rhea, hey Oz, what's going on, Rhea? And Oz, you got an admirer. James, I'm a grown man. I buy what toys I want. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Nolan, hi. Do you remember me? Good to see you guys. And of course, Oz is shaking. Remember, hey Oz, be careful. Nolan gets jealous. Nolan gets jealous a lot. So be careful, Oz. Be careful. Be careful. Watch out. Now, talk about added value. You know, we're looking at products like, and again, I want to put a cherry on this. You know, kind of put my own stake in this. I'm gonna put my stake in this. I want everybody to remember, or at least think about this. Don't what I say here is mostly theories. Okay, I'm not gonna profess that I know what the hell is going on. Okay, I think that's not. I don't want that to be an overall arcing idea as to I'm an expert on this. I have no freaking clue what's actually going on out there. However, I see the correlation of what's happening, right? So it's my I'm gonna put this back like this. It's my no, actually do this there. It is my it's my theory. All right, I'm gonna put it that way. It's my theory that what happens at retail is judged by retail. So if people look at a price in retail and they say that's way too high, I'm not paying $50 for an action figure. That trickles back down to through the retailers. That will trickle back to Hasbro and Mattel. And the retailers are saying, all right, this thing's sitting on the shelf. We're not buying any more of these things if you keep sending it to us at this price, right? You're going to have to give us a better price on this. And then, of course, Hasbro and Mattel will be like, okay, why is this not working, right? Is it the price or is it the figure? Let's try again. So they'll probably lower the price about $5 and put it back out there and see what happens, right? And that point where it starts to sell again, right? That sweet spot that they're finding, you know, maybe $25, maybe $30, which would suck. That would really, really suck. Here in Canada, it already sucks. Let's say, okay, fine, they're willing to buy at $30, and that's basically where they're gonna stay for a while, right? That I think is where the test marketing happens, and it's the same thing that happens here at the the Haslab, right? For a while they were going up and up and up, right? As I said, a giant mechanized character, right? A mechanized action figure. They put on the market for $349.99, and they said, okay, people are buying this, right? Buying it in droves. So they said the very next project, literally the very next project they made was another gigantic, pretty much based off of the same mold, right? Underneath, I'm talking about underneath, character. And they said, let's raise it another $50, see if people will buy this. And that's exactly what they did. They raised this to $399.99, and people bought it, right? So it wouldn't surprise me that the next gigantic action figure would still stay at $400 because they know what the ceiling is right now. And it happened with the G.I. Joe His Tank. They said, okay, people are really excited for this. Let's put a price tag on it of $299, see if it sells. And it did. It like gangbusters, it did. So the very next project, guess what it was? It was a freaking vehicle. No surprise to me. And guess what? They raised it another $50. Do we see a pattern here? $299 to $349, $349 to $399, right? always a $50 jump. Coincidence? I think not. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, I don't think so. I don't think this is a coincidence. I think that this is their modus operandi. This is their MO. They are going to push the envelope where they feel they can push that envelope, and they're going to try and get the most value that they can. And every single time, it's a test. That's where I will agree with Tony. With Tony, I will agree with him. I will agree with him there. It is a test. It is a test to figure out where everyone's willing to pay. But there are two different markets on that. There's the retail market that is doing its own testing. We don't have to worry about that. They're already testing whatever they need to. They're testing already. And then there's the crowdsource testing. And they're realizing very quickly that the ceiling's pretty much been reached. So I think that we're going to see the next vehicle is going to be back down to 350 as a cap. I think that's what's going to happen. That's just me, extrapolating what I see, with these projects going forward. Nolan is laughing. Okay, no problem. Right, kumusta ka pare? Mabuti pare. Good to see you, my friend. Aaron Hardy. Oh yeah, Tony had a Veliver's figure. I kind of feel he stands Veliver's hard. Okay, I'm not really sure what stands is, but I think he supports Veliver's. Ostradamus. LOL, nothing to be jelly over here. Nolan and I are for the people. Absolutely. Right, Ken. Yes. Gwildor, good to see you, Oz. Yes. Yojo, I'm opening my Pumaira and Vultureman. Yes, excellent. All right. Ostradamus, I come to toys and lack of I come to toys for a lack of politics. Exactly. No grudges, no beefs. We all love toys. Absolutely. Thank you, Oz. You always the words of wisdom for Ostradamus Toys. Guys, definitely check out Ostradamus Toys on YouTube. We just did a live stream together. If you want to check that out, check it out. He just did it yesterday. Definitely give him a like and a follow. Tell him that Jay sent you. Do you remember me? Not sure if you read or understood the last time in the chat I said G.I. Joe Serpentor was on sale again last week. What's the story here? I didn't know, but a friend bought two. They found some allocation and it went up with nobody. It was just a surprise snap decision. It went up. People figured it out and they sold out within seconds. Dude, it was terrible. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for Hasbro. Nolan picked up a clawful today. Got it for $22 Canadian, including tax. Bro, you are awesome, Nolan. You are awesome. You are awesome. Elizabeth, this tank is the only one I backed. I like the health charger, but not enough to pay that price. If it were less, I would probably be all in. Absolutely, it is. And again, Tony and I agree with at least one thing. This is a test, but it's a test for the Haslabs. It's not a test for retail. Testing retail is being done on its own. Retail testing is actually happening already. It happens every day because they know at that point where they're going to reach that ceiling, and that's actually what's going to happen. Ostradamus, Nolan, that's great. Yes, it is. It's awesome. Nolan's awesome. Is awesome. Nolan is awesome. There you go. Go if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Oz's channel and figure out what I'm saying. Awesome. Okay? Awesome. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot behind the freaking camera. Yeah, this is me. This is just me. I'm not going to hide myself behind a freaking. Anyway, whatever. Do you remember toys? Do you know the size of a toy that doesn't? You know a size of a toy doesn't matter as what Hasbro or any other toy company says is a lie. I can say why. Biggest toy company in the world is Power Wheels, Walmart, and Target, Toys R Us, all carry. Brother, I don't want to sound I don't want to sound like I'm arguing with you, but Power Wheels are empty shells. You do realize that, right? They're gigantic, huge, empty shells. They have a tiny little power source, one pedal, right, for stopping the door. Okay, two pedals. Actually, no. Isn't it just one pedal? Do they have a brake? I don't even know if they have a brake. Anyway, I think they have two pedals, stop and go, and they have steering, which is attached directly to the wheels. That doesn't take a lot of money to manufacture. Seriously. And Power Wheels, if we're talking about the same thing, we're talking about the little cars kids can drive, right? Like they get inside, they drive them, right? They're not cheap. I think here in Canada they're like $300 each. That is not cheap. So I'm not exactly sure where you're equating value on that one. I'm sorry. I don't want to come out being accusatory or not, but I just don't see I just don't see where you're coming from exactly. Like I don't understand. Your example is is very expensive. I'm just like like yeah, it's very expensive. Okay. Um, let's see here. Anybody else that I haven't talked to yet? Okay. There are a lot of analog toy comments, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna entertain them right now. I'm gonna keep it at this. Tony has his opinion. I have my opinion, and I'm not gonna entertain anything more. It seems like we're getting into that now. No, no. Tony has his opinion, and I actually agree with one of them for sure. Okay, this is a test, but it's a test for Haslab. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it at that. And you know what? You can watch what I just said to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not going to talk about Tony anymore. Um, let's see here. Yojo C just got his son, man. Excellent. Kill Chase energy. I'm always energetic. I'm just like, I don't know. And it's like 10 o'clock in the night. Just great. That's right. Awesome. Awesome. That's right. See it? Awesome. That's right. There you go. Aaron Hardy. Cancellations. I would wager that's why Serpenter came back. You could get past the 2 limit with the exploit. No, there you go. There you go. That does happen. Maybe Aaron's got it. Maybe Aaron knows exactly what's going on. That's right. Nolan knows it. Awesome. Right? Hey, that's right. Absolutely. Aaron. Now I have that jingle for Power Wheels in my head. Pow, pow, Power Wheels. Power Wheels. Power makes you go. Absolutely, Aaron. That's right. Pow, 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 Power Wheels. Power Wheels is the most expensive piece in the most expensive piece in this is the battery. Yes, the battery is ridiculous. Wildor, is it wrong? I wish I could drive a Power Wheels. No, no. Is it wrong? I wish I could drive a Power Wheel. I need an adult collector Power Wheel. The Batmobile. Yeah, absolutely. But you've already got new Prinos to run your Chevelle, right? You don't need anything else, Wildor. You're good. You're good. Do you remember? Agree with you, but the box size is 3 feet by 4 feet, 28 inches. As Haslab said, the reason why their labs projects aren't in stores is because of the box size. Ah, okay. You know what? You got me there. I got no argument against that. You got me there. Do you remember? Absolutely, you got me there. However, and I will mention this. I will mention this just to give you some food for thought. Just so you know. Just so you know. Toy companies actually pay for the space that they allocate inside of stores. So the bigger the space, the bigger the footprint, the more money they spend. There's some food for thought. There's some food for thought. Okay, anybody else? All right, you know what? Let's move on. Okay, so David Yarbert. I was just talking with my mom about how bad Power Wheels were in the 80s. My brother had one and would take 24 hours to charge and run for 10 minutes. No, you know what? That's a fond memory. But the reality is, it would take 24 hours to charge. I believe the first time you ran it ran for 20 minutes. As the battery continued to die, it got all the way down to 10. So yeah, Dave, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But it did when you first bought it. It ran for 20 minutes. It's carrying. Come on, the damn battery is carrying a 30-pound probably a 30-pound child. No, not 30. Maybe a 15 to 20-pound child. That's a lot of weight. Come on, Dave. Let's be honest. Let's be. That battery's gonna die pretty quick. That battery's gonna die. Senju, tickle my Elmo. No, I will not. Sorry, brother. I will not. I will not tickle your Elmo. You're gonna have to pay me a lot of money to tickle your Elmo, and even then, I'll probably say no. Do you remember me, Aaron Hardy? I have the animal cycle truck in mind always. Absolutely. Nolan, seen 640th anniversary He-Man. Oh, dude, what the hell, man? We haven't seen one here in Ontario. We have not seen even one. Crazy. All right, guys. I wanna close up tonight by introducing something, at least for value. Okay. So I would be amiss if I didn't talk about this at least. But when we're talking about vehicles which are kickstarting at $349 for a amazing detail, incredible flame effects, incredible wheels, all translucent, LED lights, no sound unfortunately, but it does look amazing. Let's not get this twisted. This thing looks incredible. Okay, let's be perfectly honest. Pardon me, guys. I don't know what's going on there, but this thing looks absolutely freaking incredible. the price is really what I think a lot of people are harping on quite a bit. We know Tony's harping on it 100%, and I'm even harping on it. Yes, 349 just does not seem like good value to me for a base offering. Okay, for a base offering, one figure. Okay, and blast effects. Right, I guess you can call these blast effects and accessories. Right. If we're going to talk about value, on this level, right, 349.99 as a crowdsourced project, right? Well, let's look at the opposite of that. What can we equate as actual value? I'll show you what I equate as value. Um, this HasLab has a lot going for it. It really does. But at the same time, it's got a lot of things which a lot of people were hoping for a lot more, right? And one of the things that does, and let's arguably this transforms, right? Because when you take off the wheels and you put on the new air intake engine, it transforms into the engine of vengeance, right? That's what it transforms into. I think something happens on the back as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? But it does, and let's be perfectly honest. Let's be perfectly transparent on this. It does actually, it doesn't actually transform without taking it apart. If we're talking about transformers and everyone's all talking about part formers, this is a part former. The interior is gorgeous, though it really is. However, getting my fat fingers in there is going to be hard to actually do anything with the characters inside there. I'll probably cut myself trying to do it. So the opposite side of this, right, in terms of value, in terms of something that I am actually very excited about and probably will be putting my money towards, is actually Ramen Toy's new project, Makina. Okay, for anybody who's a Mask fan, this is a love letter to Mask fans because this is a brand new tooling, brand new project, all from the ground up for a reimagining of Mask. Makina Laboratories is a huge initiative by Ramen Toy, and I think that this is beautiful. I think in terms of going for nostalgia and getting something that you could be proud of and really appreciate. I think this is going to be freaking amazing. This is, of course, the Gull Wing as their marketing, and it is. I guess a lot of people are saying it's an IROC, which I don't deny. It is an IROC vehicle. It looks freaking amazing. The overall sculpting and the details, the colors, everything about it is so reminiscent of Mask. It comes with a pilot and has I believe 7 POA 1 2 3 4 5 6 or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 POA. Wait. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It's 8 POA, including a waist turn. Whereas the original Mask figures were, I think, 5 POA, and points of articulation, by the way. And this one arguably transforms, right? Very much like the original, vehicle, which it's honoring, right? Which it's honoring, and we can see all those transformations here, right? The bumper rises up to reveal the thrusters. The actual gull wing lifts up to actually reveal the laser turrets on the side. The spoiler lifts up for an additional aileron effect, right? And on the interior is extremely well done. This, of course, is a 3D mock-up. You can actually see the resolution lines there, but I don't think we can deny this is a wonderful new project that's being put forward by Ramen Toy. And in stark contrast, the price of this is only $170 US. That is a far cry from the $350 price tag of the Haslab Engine of Vengeance. But as I said in multiple times throughout today, it really is dependent on the person. Like, is this added value to you, right? Is this something that you are looking to invest in? Just as much as we should say, is this something that you're looking to invest in? And that actually, at the end of the day, is, of course, what is the value to the consumer, right? Some people look at this as incredible value. Some people do. Some people say, I absolutely need to have this, right? Rob Reyes, all those wonderful effects. It really does speak to somebody at some level. And for that, at least for now, 4,900 people So 4,930 people are still very much enamored by this project. So to them, this is 100% added value. Whereas to other people, the Gull Wing is going to be something which they have always longed for and have asked for years. And this at $170 USD is going to be their white whale. It's going to be something that they've been looking for and looking forward to, especially because it does come with a pilot, right? Transformable, right? And really touches you in some level, some platonic level, something that in terms of not platonic, some nostalgic level that really you fell in love with so many years ago and have always wanted to come back in one form or another. So once again, this is the difference in value, right? And today my question was to find out what it was that people valued and are willing to actually pay for, and I think we've been able to expand on a lot of that. And um, I think I'll do another an actual dedicated video to what's going on with Rob Reyes as as it gets closer and closer to the end. It is my suggestion, and I can only make a suggestion. And Hasbro's not listening anyway, right? But I will make this a suggestion to Hasbro that in this time of this last few days of this project, um, forget everything else. Forget what you said in the past, right? You need to show the rest of the tiers now, similar to the way you did in with the Rancor. Reveal all the tiers. It's your only shot at getting any more backers on this, because it's obvious that Mephisto was not enough. So we need to see Darkheart. We need to see some other major villains from that what's it called, from Ghost Rider. Madeline Pryor did not work, right? And I said this on other streams, and I'm going to say it here. If you cannot sell titties to comic book geeks, you're in big trouble, okay? And then again, there's another problem. Comic book geeks are also very much into their canon. So unfortunately, you picked the wrong Madeline Pryor, okay? Because this one is a bit too new. All right, this one's too new. You need to go back a few years, because the comic book geeks that you're advertising towards, they want some underboobage. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for some titties. I'm sorry, guys. That is literally what they're looking for, and that is one of the biggest problems. And you know what? We're already well past that. Titties is not going to save this project. Titties is not going to save it. You're going to have to show Darkheart. You're going to have to show any of the demons that are actually associated with the Ghost Rider Haslab Engine of Vengeance. You're going to have to show them now. It's too late. What are we down to now? We are down to, sorry, Madeline. We are down to, oh dear God, we're down to 8 days and 2 hours. We're down to 7 days, guys. We are down to seven at midnight. We are going to be down to 7 days. It's too late. It's way past too late. It's too late was like a week ago. You need show those tiers, show everything. Now is the time to actually reveal. And you know what? Throw in another bonus. Now is the time. You can do it. You did it with Malakili. Do it. Just do it now, because there's no more time. But I hate to say it, it really does appear, to me at least, as if Haslab has literally just abandoned this project completely. And that's pretty evident if you look at the front page of Hasbro Pulse. If you look at the front page of Hasbro Pulse, this close to any Haslab, usually the Haslab would be the very first thing on the page. Instead, we have the Hasbro Premium Plus 1027 live stream. We have which we know is going to sell very, very well, the Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet. We have the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection. We have the Armor Up Marvel Legends, what's it called? War Machine, Moon Knight, and then the Battle Ridge Zon board game. And finally, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different products, we finally get to the Haslab Engine of Vengeance. If that is not an indication that Hasbro is kind of like, not really that concerned with this project, I don't know what is. And that's a big, big problem. Hasbro, you got to do something. You got to do it now. All right, guys, we're going to wind it down. This is pretty much. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. You guys are incredible. Last couple of comments before we start winding down. Let's see here. Doug Easter. Good to see you, brother. Do you think that this would back at 300 or even 250? I think 250 is my ceiling. I think 250 is where I would be for this vehicle. I think 300 is pushing it, but I do think it would have been easier. I think a lot of people would have definitely been on it at 300. Jay Coombs, yes, it looks amazing. 150, 150, not 350. Absolutely, 100%. Do you remember? Sorry, but this Engine of Vengeance is horrible because just like GTA 5 car, it's not real. Maybe if they got licenses, it would sell, but ew. No, I don't think even with a license at that price, it would have really moved the needle that much. Ostradamus, the Duncan is Revelations version 2. Haven't seen the new Eternia Duncan yet. Nolan, I hope that new Eternia is epic. Oh, okay, I'm hoping for that. Yes, I would love to see a Duncan 2.0. Nolan, now that's something fans want. Absolutely. Freaking Gullwing, man. Mythic Dolphin, I backed the Makina Gullwing during the early bird pre-order for 119. Excellent. Congratulations, brother. Get in on it early. You saved what, $60? No, you saved $50. Wow. 250 wouldn't even be a question. Definitely would have backed it. Absolutely. Zoran, my Mass Crusaders working overtime. I screwed that one. Mass Crusade. I got to sing the whole song if I need to do that, but no, not going to do it today. Mark Riddell, I'm looking forward to the take on V, particular Diana. Ah, yes, guys, definitely check out the Ramen Toys Facebook page. Let's see if we can find it really quickly, because their next project, and they're doing projects all over the place. They're looking at a very cult classic television show, and there she is. There is Diana. And did we get another shot of her? I think we did. There she is. Very interesting looking. Holy crap. That would be very, very cool. Now, it's 3.75 inch action figure. So they're going in the direction of what's it called? Reaction figures, but very, very detailed reaction figures. Thank you for bringing that up, Mark. That's awesome. Nolan, Oz. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys are having your own conversations here. Do you remember me? 7 original mask was head, arms, knees, and legs. Yes, I believe it was 5 POA, right? Head. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 POA exactly. Gwildor, I have a pre-order with Makina. With the Makina IROC. There you go, brother. Collecting Classics. Nice chat. Thanks, Jay and Chad, for the stream tonight. It's been awesome. Cheers to you, brother. Absolutely. Obi-Wan, still too much. Does Makina have tiers? No, it's a buy it or don't. It is a retail product. It's a retail product, Obi-Wan. And honestly, I think 150 is because it's not going to retail. I think it's not unreasonable. Truthfully, Obi-Wan, I think that's not unreasonable. Everyone's saying goodbye to Ray. Goodbye, Ray. Good to see you. Timmy K, Poindexter Junior Esquire. Greetings, fellow geese. Good evening, Timmy. How are you doing today? Renegade Biker Jay, did you see the video Toy Gigante? He is building his tank by 3D printing. That's crazy, brother. I'll have to take a look at that. Do you remember me? Need Rhino to hell with Matt Tracker. Ha 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 ha. Very funny, brother. Maybe they'll make it. I think depending on how well this project does, they will definitely be considering. They will definitely consider Rhino 100%. Ostradamus, some mask collectors would probably go absolutely 100%. James, if mask is going to touch me, I won't choose Matt Tracker. Yeah, of course, Oz. I would definitely love to do another countdown for Engine of Vengeance. Absolutely. Jay Coombs, Ramen is putting Hasbro to shame with Gullwing. Absolutely. In terms of value, I would definitely be going on this instead of a Haslab. But let's be honest, Ramen is not actually paying for any licenses. So there you go. Let's see. Anybody else? Let's see here. Demon 888. Any truth to Shirella being a hidden tier? You know what? I think that's something that Geek Dad Life is discussing that right now. I'm logging off on this stream, so why don't we all head over to Geek Dad Life and find out what they think of the Shirella being a hidden tier? Because I think there might be some legitimacy to that. I think so anyway. So Demon, I'll see you over there because I'm heading over there right after this. Jay Coombs, we want Robbie, Maddie, Mephisto, and Robbie's brother too. Yes, Robbie's brother. That is an easy tier. Why didn't they do that? Seriously, I totally agree with you, Jay Coombs. Robbie's brother would have been excellent. Absolutely. Barbarossa M. Hey Jay and Chad, congrats on three skulls for 6 cents. Thank you, Barbarossa. Barbosa. Thank you, Barbosa. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yojo C. I value my collectible by the size of the titties. Oh, you're good, brother. Thank you so much for that. That's hilarious. All right, guys, these are gonna be the last couple of comments for sure. Even with no under boobs, I'll take Maddie. Yes, I get it, but doesn't seem to look like that's the tier that's gonna happen right now. Let's see here. Oh, allergies coming back. Chuck Petty. This project is so dead. I'm glad it's over. The lack of fandom has shown itself. You can't tell me the 600 plus is not exploitative and 350 is taking advantage. Chuck, I appreciate your and I respect your opinion. And you know what? Depending on again, crowdsourcing is not for everybody. I think we just have to come to that realization. Crowdsourcing is just not for everybody. Do you remember me? Sorry, but Mephisto will sell fast with Silver Surfer super fact. Well, with Silver Surfer is as a fact. I get that, but that's not what's happening, right? That's not what's happening right now. Demon 888. We should start time stepping to see how long it takes Jay to catch up to the chat. 10 minutes and 28 seconds. Yeah, I'm full of hot air, so that's the problem. I gotta expel that in order to start looking at other things. I get distracted by shiny things too. Nolan, Eternia has 8114. Eternia has 8,114. Hopefully, pick up by the end of the month. It will. It absolutely will. Trust me. Jabbar, why is Ramen Toy doing V? I'd rather see I'd rather see stories of Street Horror. You gotta tell them, Jabbar. You gotta email them and get on top of that. However, you also gotta remember that if you buy their products, they will do new things. Old IT guy, good evening, Jay Chat. When does Makina pre-order end? I'm not sure. Let's find that out really quickly now. The pre-order ends. It doesn't have an end date. I think they're just taking pre-orders. I'm not sure. Right now, there is no end date here. So, brother, don't sit on it too long, though. I'm not sure. I have no idea. JB, so they're not using the mask name. No, this is a third party project. That's what we have to accept. Ostradamus. See you all Geek Dead Life. Peace out, everybody. Absolutely. Good to see you there. James, good night. Good night to you too, James. Nolan, that was a great stream, Jay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Rhea, great stream, Jay. Thank you so much, Rhea. Geek Crowd, thank you. Of course, Geek Crowd to you too. Nolan, old IT guy. Everybody's saying hi to old IT guy. Oh God, no, we didn't get snow. I hope you guys already got snow. Jesus, I hope you guys are okay. A tiny bit, but it didn't stay long. Thank God. Do you remember Lex? Let's see Bucks Rogers. Yeah, let's see Buck Rogers. Absolutely. Good night, guys. Good night to everybody. Yep, absolutely. Good night, James. Good night to everybody. There was snow in Toronto today? No. Okay. Well, thank God. You guys are scaring me. Jay Coombs, hope Diana V has a little bit more over boob. You're hilarious. Oh my gosh, too funny. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me tonight. It's been an absolute amazing evening. You guys are the best. Guys, definitely head over to Geek Dad Life to check out their stream. They're talking about the mysterious fourth tier that may or may not be true. Let's find out if it is. I hope you guys definitely give Jay and John over there a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. This Jay sent you. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, guys. Thank you so much for this. You guys are the best. All right, last comment for the night. JB, thanks for all the input. Absolutely. Yo, Joel C, peace out. Good to see you, brother. Do you remember me? See you when I see you later, Jay. Absolutely, brother. Jay Coombs, see you geeks at the Geek Dad Life. Absolutely. Geek Life, what? Absolutely, guys. Guys, thank you again for liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I posted 2 episodes a week and hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you guys will always know when new episodes are posted. And of course, I do have to say a super thanks to all my supporters on Patreon and of course on my on all the channel members who make this channel possible. Where the heck? I put it in the wrong place. Oh gosh, come on. Hold on, guys. I'll get this right one day. Ah, stop it. Come on, give me a break. There we go. Oh yeah, I want to thank all my channel member supporters as well as my Patreon supporters for making this channel possible. Princess Kagali, Old IT Guy, Ryra Ken 33, Christopher Herndon, Paul Petit 1975, Joseph Michaels, Gamer Bud, Tom M, Snell's World, Hugo Baudry, Maniac Plastic Toy Shop, John Joker, Soldier 11M, Nolan, Rufus Roger, and mftoys.ca. You guys are the best. But of course, everyone here is amazing. I love you guys all as supporters of this channel, regardless if you are a Patreon or channel member supporter. However, if you do have, if you do have the means and are able to help support the channel, please consider supporting me as a channel member or on Patreon. Check out Mega J Retro on Patreon. Every little bit counts, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys being here, spending some time with me. This is the highlight of my week, guys. Talking toys and sharing my time with you. You guys are amazing. Guys, thank you so much for everything. I hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. Keep proud.